Hello, good morning. Let me address Professor Kathleen Sun, Professor Cheung, and Dr. Chen, and Dr. Jason Chow. Before I deliver my speech, I have to thank you for the invitation to allow me to share with you today, this morning, about the topic. I think it's Jason proposed something like this, right? So this is about generative AI for teaching and learning in higher education, opportunities and challenges. And as you can see, one of my head is the director of AI and Digital Competency Education Center that has been just set up by August this year. So the Education University of Hong Kong is dedicated to promote AI, not AI in education. I have to make it clear that we want to promote AI is not just for use in education. My role is, to a certain extent, as this morning, the discussion forum on metaverse, it is about the technology themselves. I know a lot of research are doing for immersive learning in using metaverse. So we hear a lot this morning. But for me, no matter the development of the technology, it always takes time that can be used in education. And for the time being, I think a lot of effort is being put to make metaverse to be useful in different area or in different professional. That really take time. For AI, the talk I'm going to deliver today, especially the generative AI, we start to explore this topic is just last year. We asked the students to do project because this is the third year we promote AI literacy. This is the third year because we got the donation from Li Ka-shing Foundation in 2021. And then we start program to teach university students and senior secondary students on AI literacy. And our target, not those take ICT as the DSE subject. We want to recruit anyone who are interested in AI to join us. But unfortunately, this is not always the case. Many of the ICT students become, I think, 40%. Only 60% are from the other disciplines. So actually, we have the experience. And last year, by December, we suddenly realized that there are projects from our university students and senior secondary students talking about ChatGPT. So that triggered my intention to look into the generative AI last year. And then this year, 2023, March, I think by February in Hong Kong, you can see there are news. This is about the overall scenario that I'm going to deliver today. So what you see is about the POE, the Bing check, and for the text to image, the Midjourney, the DALL-E, and all these tools has been quite overly admitted as very useful in general. But according to our hard work in the past 3 months, yes, they are powerful to a certain extent, but not that powerful actually. And so at the beginning in February, I think you still remember Hong Kong U have a very urgent call for not using this kind of tool by that time in February, right? That is, to us, is not bad decision. But of course, when we do it in March, we announced by the Education University that we are embracive and we want to promote the use of AI in university education. But as I heard this morning, actually, when we talk about the metaverse, a lot of things are quite similar because it is new. Of course, it can be, you said 20 or 30 years ago, you have some experience of metaverse or with AI, yes, by that time, yes, we can have some experience, but because the computational power is not the same. Now we are so powerful, it's because of the computational power is out of our imagination that make metaverse or generative AI powerful. But having said that, it's powerful, but I think we need more effort to let more people to really understand. For example, the ChatGPT, I can give an example very soon. See whether you can think of that. It doesn't important because I have delivered talk for various occasions in Hong Kong, in Finland, or somewhere in Japan. Just I come back last week. Anywhere, actually, there are a lot of insufficient effort to understand what is happening for the generative AI. So we have the diagram showing AI including machine learning and machine learning include deep learning. So what the generative AI are doing is mainly on deep learning, the neural network. So the neural network is something like this. This is artificial, right? If I show this diagram to the computer science people, they will consider, well, you are not in the field. Actually, what is this? But I tell you, I do this in the past 3 months in 3 primary school. We teach them hidden layer. We teach them input layer and output layer to grade 6 students. And if I just teach them machine learning, the deep learning, I definitely it's not in the right way of doing things, I think. But actually, I'm doing this because I consider they have studied last year already. They're grade 6. In Hong Kong, they studied last year already. 3-year kindergarten, even earlier now, 2 years, you want to send them to the school already. So 9 years is the time they are going to promote to secondary school very soon when they're in grade 6. And we want to consolidate the learning strategies. So we teach the machine to learn using robots. So we ask them to play. So Edgar this morning talked a lot about play first, entertain first. Yes, we use the same strategy. When we promote computational thinking in coding, yes, the first step is not coding. The first step is to let them enjoy the product of the coding. When they know, oh, this is really funny, can I make it? Then it's a gender issue. Yeah, the girl like to make it. If the boy like, yes, I want to like to make it. So when we design a curriculum for primary school students, we have to consider the gender differences. So we also have storytelling because girls like storytelling. So Scratch is good for storytelling. So we have to, when we do anything about education use of all these technologies, it's not just about the technology, it's about the pedagogy, it's about the equity, it's about embracive, and about, it is really funny. The fun is not necessary to be a game. Yes, game can be the way, but you have a lot of discussion already. You use too much name of the game, then you have to draw back and go back and say it's about education. But the game is game. Why I'm sorry to say that why people like to develop serious game. Why game has to be serious? What is that? Why you have to do serious game? Because the game does not work in education. So you invent another name, serious game. And then we put effort. And when it is so serious, how it is a game? So it's always very contradictory when you do something. Always say fun, interesting. Is it the way to go? I don't think so. In education, you can do a lot of things that you are feeling. For example, when I introduced the artificial neural network to the primary student, they are really, really fantastic. They are really, really joyful. But at the same time, we consolidate with them about when you teach the machine to learn, can you reflect on how you learned in the past 9 years? So this is from the neuroscience perspective. A lot of findings from neuroscience tell us that they have a lot of findings in the past 30 years. But in the education area, we seldom make use of the very fruitful result from neuroscience. So I put a lot of effort to put the neuroscience major finding into this kind of teaching with primary school kids, and you find that they really engage, they can make reflection, and this is critical. So of course, I want to tell a bit about the neural network, the artificial neural network. This is the brain, is our brain. Actually, we don't know how our brain works. We only know that there are neurons and there are information transmission, and that's all. And of course, we can know this area and this area and this area is doing something, but you don't exactly know. But unfortunately, the computer science people use the name artificial neural network. We don't even know the neural network. We only know very little. And then we said, we are doing the artificial neural network, what's that? So I tell the university and primary school students and secondary students that they're just some formula. And the hidden layer, nobody knows what's the hidden layer. Nobody knows. It's hidden. But you can't take out of the hidden layer, because if you only have the input and the output layer, it doesn't work. So you need a hidden layer. But you can increase the hidden layer from 1, 2, or 3 hidden layer. So what is the consequence of so many new hidden layer? It causes overfitting. Now you don't know what is overfitting. But as a general AI literacy, I have to tell you why it is overfitting. It's no good. Then because we in March this year, we go to Paris Saclay University, PSU. I think PSU is even top higher than MIT, because they are #1 in mathematics. They have a unit called neuroscience unit, and I go there and I visit them, and they introduce me a robot. The robot is uncover the deep learning, the neural network, and I discovered that I can bring it back to Hong Kong. And so in the past few months, no matter what courses I introduced, is in university students, senior secondary students, and I teach 35 school teachers. They just graduated last Saturday. And then we have 38 administrative staff from EduHK who just graduated from my course. They also experience this kind of experience of the neural network. So we tell them this, they don't have to put much effort. They just to know that, yes, there are neural network. We are doing something to mimic it. We want to uncover it. So then you don't still have some, it's very difficult if I just show you the picture. But actually for the Google machine, they just show you all these layers and then you can play around with them. But actually you can't really know what is the consequences of the weighting of all the line moving and why the layers going up and down, what are they? So in terms of the generative AI, yes, they use the neural network, but they use the transformer. They use the token. So they are pre-trained. And then there are also reinforcement learning. But actually there are more than that. I think a lot of the good work that you're seeing from the generative AI is also including the supervised learning actually. So all these terms means I cannot deliver in 1 hour, but in the course we have to tell what are they, what transformer just in the past 5 years make it the generative AI so critical. So the transformer is like this, the large language model. So you don't want to go into detail, right? But anyway, it is a kind of a way of extracting information. So actually, if you are studying computer science, maybe you go into detail, but we are not. We are general public. We don't need to go in all the details, but we still can have a look. Oh, this is the algorithm that they use. So why it is so useful? Then actually, this is not a new thing in machine learning for next word prediction. You use the best of word and then you can make the next word prediction. So a lot of jargon from them, it doesn't important about the jargon. The important is about what is generative AI? What is AI? What are they? They are making some probabilistic prediction of the next word. That is not difficult. So of course you need the linear algebra. You need to know something about the matrix, and then you know how they are going to do with all these things that you didn't do. Even you study up to DSE for so many years mathematics, you doesn't heard about all these things. So I also call for a reform in Hong Kong on the mathematics literacy. You're not doing the right thing because what you're teaching is not totally highly related to the real life that is actually is happening to everybody, but you don't know about the mathematics. So I also promote mathematics literacy. So if only 20% of them go to engineering or computer science, yeah, you can take those more difficult mathematics, but in the general public, they can know a lot of mathematics that is useful for their whole life. Why don't you put them into the mathematics curriculum? So actually literacy nowadays is a general term. So this one for the self-attention is making prediction. So if we give them example, or if only some single word, sorry, this is in Chinese. I think some of you are not reading Chinese. So even for the Chinese word of 學, you have so many contexts. So the point of transformer is about self-attention. So previously, the translation is not good because they don't use the transformer algorithm. They don't take care of the self-attention. But once you use the self-attention about the sentence itself to look in the context, but unfortunately, this is only an algorithm. So no semantic understanding. So people always say, yeah, why did I speak in Cantonese for one sentence. 點解佢AI 咁唔 make sense 嘅？因為佢點會 make sense 啫 ？This is only an algorithm. How can it make sense? It doesn't make sense. It only make out of the algorithm to mimic the context. Actually, they don't know the context. They just use the self-attention algorithm. It seems that they understand the context, but actually they don't. So that's why I'll give you another story. Okay, about token. Now, this is another big flu. When you use so much token, not word, so you use generative AI, you know you need the word token, not word, because they count token, not counting the words. So the takeaway is token should be much larger than the number of words in the world, because every single word, we have so many alternatives to represent red. So you can see these are the possible ways. So when you have so many tokens, then you can, and together with the self-attention, you can understand the language much better than before. So all these are the general understanding that we want people to have before they go to use of the generative AI. So this is the development from 2018 up to now. So of course, I always read newspaper, and I know the next step of GPT-4 is the enhanced one, another one, and another breakthrough maybe within 5-year time. It's not just generation. It can be a very logical paragraph to be generated. But of course, you don't know, we don't know, I don't know. Even the developer do not know. In 5 years' time, is it that will be very powerful that the level of understanding is like an adult? But now, of course, not. But even 5 years later, even it is not an adult, I don't care. I'll tell you why. So the data training for ChatGPT is like this. It's all the sources that we have. And then this is the story that I always like to tell people. 你哋有冇睇電視㗎？得好少人岌頭嘅啫，我自己見到好少 ，very little of you really watch your TV. I at 8 o'clock I have to my dinner with my family. I have son and grandson and granddaughter, and then we always see this. 你哋有冇聽過鼓勵唔到啊？In that 8 o'clock. So you know that 鼓勵唔到 is not real, right? This is virtual. But you can ask the ChatGPT to generate 1-day trip for 鼓勵唔到. This is always my first lesson. And then the 鼓勵唔到 1-day trip will be like that. But if I have 30 students in my class, 30 students want to say, 地識估你唔到喺泰國，佢話唔係喎，我估你唔到喺西班牙喎咁樣。Because I have to let them know this is generative AI. There's no true or false. They just make it up for you. So why you have to bring that sometimes is make mistake on incorrect. This is the nature of generative AI. I tell you already. They use the token, the self-attention, and put up things together and then give it to you. And then you always use human common sense to understand what they are generated for you. That is a mistake. Because you don't really have any understanding of generative AI. No matter 5 years later, it may be more powerful, but still being generated in certain way. But I understand that people are doing some mathematics. Some Mathematica, Maple are very powerful in generating all the steps in linear algebra and all those things. So maybe one day it can be very logical, rational of the text being generated. Not far away, maybe 5 years time or a few years time, and you invest so much huge amount of money. But anyway, still, if the transformer is still the core, it is still like that. But of course, it can be not transformer for the next generation, not using the transformer, but using another version of algorithm. So algorithm is something that everyone should know. So what is algorithm? So that's why we are continuing to teach the primary school kids about coding. But of course, I'm doing something very interesting. Now, coding can be high level, can be drag and drop, right? But I'm foreseeing not this. Very soon, with the generative AI, with the prompting engineering, the next generation should be human language programming. Human language programming should come. We should do something on human language programming because this is not easy. But this is the next generation of language development. It's no more high level, even higher. That is, human can use human language to instruct the computer. So prompt engineering, something like this already. But if you're really insider of prompt engineering, you find a lot of tricks that is not comfortable when you do a lot of the so-called prompt engineering. So actually, it is still far away from human language instruction, actually. The prompt is in the middle way of doing. So another story is not about the 鼓勵唔到, another though is in Ireland. Ireland is a genuine island. You'd like to go to there to have 1 day trip, right? So for the pumping engineering, they tell you, what are you going to do? Oh, just pump for 1 day trip. In Ireland is insufficient. You need to be in context, of course. You say it's summer, a 1 day trip is not the same as in winter, and that is so-called prompt engineering. Hey, give a context. Of course, I know I have to be in context when I ask questions. So what's so funny for prompt engineering? It's just common sense, actually. When I go into all the detail of the prompt engineering, I find I can deliver prompt engineering in half an hour. I can tell all this, the so-called tactics. So actually, it's not about the tactics of prompt engineering. It's about your professional knowledge in a certain area. Then you can dig deep into that. And that is professional knowledge. So everyone can be contribute in your own profession. So you won't be being eliminated because you have your own professional knowledge. So the generative AI can be your partner. The story behind of Einstein is in 2021, when people, the 3 young men, the OpenAI, to pre-train this model, the Iceland government talked to these 3 young men. Can you include all the information of Ireland? Yes, they do. They put as much effort as they can, the information about Iceland. So if you ask for 1 day trip for Iceland, it definitely can be correct because all the data are inside. So this is the pre-train. So the generative AI have, to a certain extent, is a generative. But in other extent, it's about the pre-trained data. If the data are being included, then the data generated can be more correct. So this is about the idea of using generative AI in whatever. So actually, whatever if you try to find it out, we check it with the map. Yes, what they propose are correct, and it's doable. You can follow them to go through the trip if the data is sufficient in detail. But do you think the generative AI can be so powerful to include every minute detail in the coming few years? If it is not, a lot of jobs are going to be generated because you can contribute for Hong Kong one-day tour. You can contribute a lot of things, so it creates a lot of job again. So why say people are being eliminated later? Because you don't follow the trend and develop your career in that way, then you may be eliminated. But you are being in partnership. So okay, one more thing is about the generative AI, about the reinforcement learning. People always said, yeah, it's very good because they always say sorry. If they don't know, they say sorry. Okay, they say sorry because they are trained to say sorry. It's not because they are really a human that say sorry. It's not, it's a train. This is by reinforcement learning. So if you understand that the reinforcement learning, there are three options here. So if you assign the mark, consider two bias, two general, this is good. Then you assign the mark, okay, this is reinforcement learning. How difficult it is to understand machine learning. It's not difficult. It's for everybody. It's for general education. Everybody should know. Everybody should make good use of this as a partner, using the AI tool as a partner. So this is the way to go. But of course, this is only part of that. But we also take out that there are a lot of supervised learning that make sometimes you mix up. Generally, these AI sometimes are very sensible because they also do supervised learning. The human supervise some of the way to make response. So you're always being mixed up. Which part is generated? Which part is because after supervised or after reinforcement learning? So if the general public has no idea, they always say, 係咯，佢又搞錯咗。其實佢成日都係錯噶嘛，錯先係佢本質嚟噶嘛。Wrong is its nature. Correct is by chance. It's correct. But the people always make the opposite. 哎呀，佢錯咗喎。Oh, so not comfortable with they make mistake. Well, this is the other way around. So when we teach them, we always ask our colleagues to have a fully understanding that we should do that. But can we write on the generative AI to be a good tool? So we consider this is possible. So we need to introduce self-regular learning, independent thinking, problem solving, and brainstorming. So because it's generative, sometimes it's quite creative. The creative is not because of the generative AI, it's because human. Because I asked the TVB, 我都問嗰啲 TVB 編劇㗎，我話你哋估你唔到有冇問下 ChatGPT 啊？佢話有㗎，不過我會問3、4次，再夾埋佢，等我老細都唔知。So they have to do something more than just ask and copy and do. Of course not. So if you are smart, you know how to do good things using generative AI. So the brainstorm, yeah, it can be creative if the human can use it wisely. So we introduce regular learning. So in the coming next year, summer, we try to recruit 200 secondary school students to ask them to make use of the generative AI tool using the self-regular learning strategy. And we try to going along hand in hand with the senior secondary students to make them have a good use of the generative AI tools to be independent in their learning. Why? 有啲時候有啲學生嘅成績真係低到係唔想問人嘅，因為佢覺得都唔好意思問，但你可以問佢喎。So this is a very good way of helping those much falling behind. But at the same time, when I quit senior secondary students, I also look for DGS smart students to come along with us. We do not want to label anyone who join us, no matter you are smart or not smart. Join us. You can be, because if you are smart, you can be even more smart. So everybody can progress using the generative AI. There's no no boundary. For you are at a lower level of startup or in the very high levels, it's still the same. So you can help other students or you can help yourself to be more smart. So when we talk about this in a high level, it's about the offering cycle. Now, actually, we introduced the 6P strategy. Now, the 6P strategy is a way of advocating the university students to be in partnership with the generative AI. But at the same time, my senior colleague, of course, I'm senior already, but I still have my senior colleague, of course, also let me know that, well, Professor Gong, when you do this 6P, it seems in terms of writing, is still lacking some literature review. So actually, we have to go back how people write. So offering cycle is something like this. I don't go into detail, right? So you are being invited because your lecturer asked you to do something. You have the tension, you study, investigation, demonstration, revision, representation, mediation, and action. So this is about the offering cycle. But what do we propose in a press release in March this year? So I talked to the senior staff in EduHK that we should not just say we are embracive to generative AI. We should have solution. So that's I work out this with the president of EduHK, Professor Lei Zikin, and myself, and we work together and work out this 6P strategy. So we want the human to be the active one, not being led by the generative AI. So we said we have to ask our students to plan. But of course, when I said, well, yeah, we humans should plan and then start the writing. But in reality, this is not the story. The student in some class said, I have no idea. I don't know how to plan. Can I ask the GPT? Of course, yes, you can ask. Not just like TVB 啲編劇都係咁問啦，不過唔係問一次啊嘛。You can ask several times. You can ask more ideas, and then you combine them. So this is the way to go. So what is the center? Not technology center. We are human center. So no matter how in the next 5 to 10 years, the generative AI can be really, really powerful, even superior than human. What happened? Still the same. Because the human development still need years and years of human development to become we are competent in our humankind. So I don't care. So I always said they can be more and more and more powerful. But we as educators has more and more job to do because we want both to be go together to as partner. No matter you are in the workforce, you are studying, no matter you're in kindergarten, yes, why not? If you're the parent, you can be more embracive even when you are teach a kindergarten. It's not a kid, it's about the parent. The parent can be more embracive. The parent can be, because of the generative AI, more embracive, not so narrow-minded. And that is powerful. So that's why no matter what stage we have our kid, we can make use for academic writing in university level. Plan is the first step. Prompt, yes, you can prompt. And then preview, because nowadays the academic are very smart already. So you have to check out all the citation, the literature. Of course, the next generation, generate AI, even can generate all the related citation properly and decently. Yes, I think it will happen. So it can reduce our work to a certain extent. But does it mean that we don't have to review? No, because still they have their own limitation. The human can be much insightful and combine different disciplines together. They cannot. Why? Because they're generated. When they're generated, the whole world text is like that. How they can generate is something from the pool. But human can be more insightful to combine different things together that machine cannot do, right? Especially everything in context. I know from PolyU that for engineering, for a building, the whole building, for the safety building of a whole building, they know you can ask the ChatGPT to help to provide some support. But for an individual building, they cannot because they don't have an information of an individual or newly built building. They don't have that information. So the engineer professor also said they can ask the student, yeah, you can ask the ChatGPT, but at the same time, you can't finish my assignment. You still need to work hard in the profession. So in the first stage, I said the profession is still there. So everyone are valuable, no matter now or in the future. So you need to check. You can produce and we support peer review among peer learning, and portfolio checking is about ethical. Because if students really ask the ChatGPT, we said, why don't you tell me, tell the lecturer? So of course you can say, how about if they don't report? They just ask this and that. I say, yes, of course. ChatGPT is not only one ChatGPT, there are more than 23 ChatGPT that even the name you don't know now. If I ask this and ask that, or I do this are very tricky. I ask this in Chinese and I ask the ChatGPT to translate into French, and then I use French and translate into English, and then I give you. Do you think this is a generative AI? A lot of tricks you can do. A lot of tricks. If you're imaginative, if you're creative, you can cheat the professor. But by the end of the day, what is the outcome? If you do that, you know nothing. You're not competitive. So I said, no worry. DSE is still face-to-face examination. It's always face-to-face. So what about the university? Go back to the exam hall. Do it there. Then no matter how you do the assignment, I don't care. You come back for examination. Face-to-face. Everything resolved. Because we want to help you, 樹仁大學嘅學生 to be smart and powerful. This is what we are doing. If you don't follow us, the senior management of Siu-Cheung University is here. You don't follow them. Oh, this is your own business, not our business. Well, every university is like that, right? So we are doing the best for our students. So we are trying to ethically ask them to do this. Of course, in EduHK, the portfolio checking for the student asking the ChatGPT, we tell the student that 3-month checking, 3-month checking. If you use the ChatGPT of EduHK, the professor can check in the past 3 months, did you ask the ChatGPT if we suspect that there's something not in the right track? We can do that. And this is for the sake of protecting our students that yes, in the first lesson, we tell the student, we'll check you. If you use this, of course, you can ask POE and we cannot check. You can do so many things to escape, right? It doesn't matter because we can't, just like cheating is always possible. So if cheating is always possible, why bother about the use of ChatGPT for cheating? It will definitely happen. It's the real life, right? So it doesn't, we just do our best. And the guideline is a guideline. Yeah, we'll do that. So this is about the planning, the poem, the preview, produce. I don't go into detail, and then the peer review and portfolio checking. So we have put this up. And about the infrastructure, yes, at the beginning is a bit, we have to wait for Microsoft. So now, yes, we can use the 3.5 or 4.0 for every student. And for administrative staff in EduHK, we don't track them. We promise the staff that you have to be careful in terms of the security of data. So we don't track the data, and make sure if you have a lead, you can use it. And then for teacher and student development, and I think the physical infrastructure is there already, but for the mental infrastructure is more important for teacher and students. So that's why in the past few months we encourage a lot of TDG, teaching development grant. for our academics to apply, and then they have the budget to evaluate how the students are making good use or bad use of the generative AI. For students, yes, we also provide workshop, guide them through the 6P. 6P means every 3 units in EduHK, you need, in general, you need some academic writing. So that's why we propose the 6P. So for teacher development, we have to support our teachers, but usually for this kind of support, a forum is more than enough. We cannot teach them, but we can have an open discussion forum to answer questions or queries from our colleagues. For students, we can have workshop. But more importantly is about the AI literacy. So in EduHK, we have 3 years already. Every year we have around 240 seats for university students. So after 3 years, no matter who you are, where you from, the faculty of humanity or creative art, you can come to have the AI literacy course. The course is 40 hour, 40 hour. Level 1, 40 hour, level 2, 40 hour, level 3, 18 hour, level 4, another 24 hours. So altogether can be 60 hours for AI literacy. But in general, our students just go for level 1 and level 2 and then they go away. I think only half of them stay for level 3. Level 3 is to develop an AI application using Azure platform or the Google machine. And that make them open their eye that, yeah, in the future, my research can be in this area, or when I graduate, I can do something else, not serving as a teacher, but can be other things. So AI literacy, I think for all universities in Hong Kong have to consider to promote more AI literacy for all. So, Jason, how many minutes I have? So now from now on is about the program that I have just mentioned. So actually we have 2 kinds of program: AI literacy for university and senior secondary students. But recently, because of the Lee Ka-shing Foundation, they are very serious that Hong Kong need more AI literacy. So they support us to develop 3 new programs, Apply AI program. So this is the Apply AI program that I have just finished in September to December, the second and the third one. So for teacher, we have the Certificate of Attendance program for the use of generative AI tools for teaching and learning. And for administrative staff, the Lee Ka-shing Foundation emphasizes SME. So we promote this course to all SME in Hong Kong. That is how to make good use of the generative AI to increase the productivity. So for senior secondary students, we want them to be in line with the interacting with the AI. And one more very important thing, in the past 1.5 years, I do a lot of literature review on AI literacy. And then I have to find out a framework, what should be included in AI literacy after a very thorough and extensive literature review. One key point I want to share with you is it's highly insufficient up to this moment for the general public to shape the future society. It seems that only the 3 young people from OpenAI are leading the whole world. And then, of course, the European Commission has just announced a safety issue documentation just 2 days ago. And UK also have another conference in election about the use of AI. So they are all at the top layer of the government level. But for me, my mission is very clear. Why not the general public to be participate in shaping the good use of AI in the future? Why we are being ignored as a general public? We are the user. We are the human being in the world that we should contribute to the future AI. We should have some saying of what it is. Why we just stay there and ask for, what are you? Why I have to chase for you? No, we should not be chasing behind. We should be leading the development by law, by general public literacy, to make everyone being involved and have their own say. So when we deliver all these courses, we ask everybody to be the ambassador of AI, of generative AI, to shape the future. Of course, for students, we want to develop the self-regular learning. Yes, we have to do it. If we don't do it, yes, students can really just rely on the generative AI. That make them got lost. So as educator, no matter primary student or secondary student or university students, we should use the self-regular learning as a strategy to encourage them to be an independent learner, to be a self-regular learner. So we should be making good use of the AI. For education, I have just two works for everyone. One is now differentiated instruction become possible, because in those days, I think only the special education need people say, I can do 1 set, 2 set, 3 set of learning teaching material, because they have different level of capability. So we have differentiated instruction. But now you can, because you can use the GPT as not so difficult tasks or more difficult tasks. You can just ask and they can generate. It's not as difficult as before. So why not? So teacher, but unfortunately, of course, I get in touch with them for 3 months already. They have 10 lessons. They spend 60 hours with me, 60 hours Saturday. Come to EduHK for so long. It's not easy. And it seems that they still need a lot of support for developing differentiated instruction. So it's not just simple words say, well, ChatGPT is there, so everything can be smooth and easy. No, I can tell the teachers that you become more busy and a lot of work because of the generative AI. Your life is not easier than before, but you can be a better teacher than before if you use it. Oh, the other is individualized learning. So I said, and when we roll out this teacher and parent, only one parent dare to come to my class. All the other parents said, Professor Kong's course, no. How can I go there and learn machine learning and generative AI? No. But I tell you, in the next round, there are one school. In January, I start again. One school, parents are more than teachers. They send 20 people, 11 parents, 9 teachers to join my course. And I say, this is a good sign. This school has the future, because the parents are working with the teachers on using generative AI for what? For differentiated instruction, for individualized learning. This is the way to go. If you fall behind, you don't join us, then you are falling behind, actually. Why not join us? Because a lot of program, a lot of saying, but we are doing, actually. So for SME, is to increase their productivity and quality of work at their workplace. So just one example. They always said the minutes can be recorded digitally and then transfer into text and then do the summarization and then produce the minutes, right? Yes, I say, many people are saying that. Let us do it. Let us work it out. What do you feel? What is the feedback of the administrator? They said,我哋取代唔到嘅，你睇下佢搞啲咁嘅嘢出嚟，邊搞得掂啊？我老細唔會炒我，一定唔會炒我啦。佢出啲咁嘅嘢。If you work with them, you know you can improve the quality, but you never can be replaced. 你都知道老細有時講啲唔落得 minutes 㗎嘛，好多嘢要做㗎係咪啊？即係as一個 administrator. So how can you say something in the media that people will be replaced? So I said, you're not responsible in saying this in the public media. You are scaring the people, but you are not supporting them to develop. As an educator, we are not so narrow-minded to be primary, secondary, university students. Actually, many people in the workforce need to be have a second chance to be educated or literate. Literacy is important for them to develop because their career is still very long, right? So they need to be developed further. So for university students, some of them come quite a substantial number. Even the postgrad students come to our course. We are very surprising because they want to articulate their research with some AI-related activities. So they come and join. And especially, or unfortunately, many of them are from mainland China students. The Hong Kong students, yes, we have, but not so many. Because it is free. It is free. It is just for your effort. If you like to learn, you can learn much more, right? But if you don't, of course, you fulfill the 120, 120 credit, you can graduate. But if you want to be in sync with the development, you need to be more hardworking. So this is for the coming senior secondary. It will be in May, June, and July. This is the only time I can do because nobody will come to education university until this is the summer. So we are very hardworking. And then for teacher and parent, we do this in Saturday. So January, free time, or the second is March. And then for administrative, April, May, because we have to spread it out. Because my team is only have around 12 people. It's still a very large team already in promoting all this. So because so these are the topic. They need to do the project work because if you join a course without project work, I don't think you can learn. So the most important part, or the people like to join us after 3 months, only one word. They like to build a chatbot, no matter if you are the administrative staff or the teacher. Many of their projects are about the chatbot. So the chatbot can be very interesting that I think before they join us, they don't think they are capable to develop the chatbot. But now they find that, okay, it's not that difficult. They can develop their own chatbot. There are a lot of things they consider AI is good for them because they know they can do a lot of things that's good for the students. So many of them do this. So these are the content that we have developed in the past few months. So because of the 3-year foundation that we do a lot, and because of the robot that we have introduced from the PSU, the machine learning or the deep learning become more easy to understand. So that make my work to be more meaningful and powerful. This is my center. So we have a website. If you want to know more about the courses, you just go there, and then you can have this QR code, and then you can, or just you use 6 alphabet. Just type AIDCEC. Everything will be there. No matter which browser you use, you can come and visit us. So this is the end of my talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kong.
Do you need question time?
Yeah. Yes. So now may I know if there are any questions or sharings from our participants? Yeah, here the lady.
Thank you very much, Professor Kong, for such a rich and inspiring talk, which confirms my own conviction that quality humans are the engineers of the world and the future world. So thank you again. I only have a very small question since you mentioned the human language programming, which will be the next, the next step. Could you tell us a little bit more about this? Because I'm, for example, my city, touches about the accents of the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. For now, I propose this is not really new because according to the human imagination, one day we should be able to use the human language to instruct the computer to do tasks, not doing low-level or high-level programming tasks. But now, because of the prompting as a human language instruction, right? So is prompting equal to human language programming? I don't think so. If you try in the past few months, you do more and more prompting, you will note that it's still very problematic. And it seems that the human language programming are also domain specific. Domain specific. It cannot be not one step to really high level instruction that every domain problem can be resolved. I don't think so. Because high level programming language, you need to define a task, and then you do the programming task, and then debug and do it, right? For prompting is the intermediate step, but to a next level should be human language programming, should be still structured in a certain way. Now, ambiguity is the common way of communication for human. It's always ambiguous. But of course, by probabilistic model, ambiguity, if in certain context, then it can be fixed, right? So I think even a human language programming still have the next level. The first level maybe not ambiguity cannot be resolved. But human language programming, even another level, maybe I'm not here already, is about the treatment of ambiguity as well. But that needs more information to make it in context. So actually the human communication is always in context. So the limitation of the generative AI is what? They cannot be in context. They're general, no context. So this is the main, not, of course, emotion for human is one thing, but in contextualization, if you are a research student, I think you can think about something related to contextualization, no matter it's education or in other area, is a keyword for the future research development, actually. This is very important. So yes, you're right. So I'm not the only one who talk about this because we have collaboration with MIT professor. They also tell me that they also consider the next generation of programming should be human language oriented. But of course, we cannot be there in one step. I think we still need a lot of research effort to make this happen. But this is in my agenda. I want to do something in this area because if you do more prompting for problem solving, then I think you definitely can also approach to that direction. But I think a lot of effort. Thank you.
So maybe, yes,
Yeah,
please.
Professor, it was great presentation. I want to ask a question. So, for example, in my class, I have different kind of students. For example, some are from business administration, some from Chinese language, from different departments. So, I'm facing this kind of issue like all are not from computer science students. They don't know about the coding. They don't know about. So how you are teaching them? Like you told that you are telling them how to make the chatbot. So like if they don't know about the ANN activation function, optimizers, and those kind of all the things like convolutional neural network, those kind of things. So how you are teaching them to make a chatbot, something like these things?
Now, motivation is the key. You can overcome whatever barrier that you have. The chatbot, because of the user interface, now, I don't know you heard this or not, is about thread programming. You're using the thread to connect the thread. Now, to connect the thread, there are modules that you can select. After you select the modules, then you have the idea what problem you want to solve. Then you have to use the thread to connect the module to make it the chatbot. So the chatbot can be just within a context or can be connected to the real world ChatGPT. So you have to come to my course, of course, if you want to really do everything, because I cannot do this in 1 hour. But actually, the team, my team is working very hard, and all the projects, there are around 20 projects. I think 19 of them is about the chatbot development for teaching or for administrative or general inquiry purposes that considered and can be used. You go to my website, there is a chatbot there, and then you can ask questions. I think it's not 100% correct, of course, but you can have a feel that, okay, this just drag and drop, but now this is the thread programming that you can make it happen. And finally, I just want to take a look at my logo. This is my center's logo. Now, I go to Zhuming's museum in Taiwan in June. And then I insist I have to go there. I have to take a look at Zhuming's 太極嘅圖嘅。當兩個太極推手，因為我啲英文講唔到噶啦呢啲。即係兩個太極推手嘅時候咧，走埋一齊咧，佢會即係會有接觸嘅。所以咧，我而家呢個 logo 咧，你見到我哋有個紫色同埋紅色。咁咧是但一方咧代表人，另一方係代表人工智能。One side is about the AI, the other side is about human. So the middle is gold. 閃閃生輝係因為 human interact with the AI, we can sparkle and everything can happen. So this is a partnership, but the partnership means it's the bright side of human and AI. So this is the logo that I designed for my center, and I hope we can all work together to be literate with AI and to be in partnership with AI and to make our humankind for the well-being and harmony of our world that need a lot of effort to do that. Okay, that comes to the end of my talk. Thank you.